Hey guys and gals, I got another one for you today. Today I'm in my CDC. That's right, I still play the CDC. This is my first premium tank that I actually purchased after I had earned it, but did not know that you could request tanks back. So if you don't know that, you can. I just got submit a ticket to Board Gaming, they'll get it back to you. Anyways, CDC. No armor to speak of, very fast, so it is like scout tank the size of a heavy tank, and that's pretty much the CDC in a nutshell. Now we're on Baja, one of my least favorite maps. I just featured the Object 140 on South Coast, which is a variant of this map. I actually feel like Baja is worse just because it's got the open area in the middle, and there's less terrain that you can use as cover. However, watch where I drive here. CDC is way too fast. I can't react to boulders that are in front of me. It's just way too fast for me. But anyways, Baja is a little bit more open, so there isn't as much terrain to play with. It just makes it more difficult. Now I was going to communicate to my team to attack here just because they left the sniper ridge open, which allows us to get down the zero line. And I'm going to get into this little nook, so if they want to get me, they have to drive around, and hopefully my team will come, but it doesn't look like they're coming. Now the J-Pan does the exact same thing on their side, so he gets under my team's gun line, and he looks back at me, and now we're going to trade shots. And I assume I should be able to kill him, but I would appreciate some help. And my Arietta comes over, kills him, and their Iron Rain kills my Arietta. I also had a Super Persian that came over, so I'm looking for shots on this ISM, but there's like a little block in the way. So we shoot the block down, and now the block is still in my way, but we get a shot up into his lower plate. And now there's a wave of red coming, so I am able to back up here. Now if you can see, when I was fighting the J-Pan 2, I said GG. And that's because I feel like I get the most response out of any team when I use GG. A lot of people don't respond to the comms, but for some reason I feel like when you do GG, they actually pay attention, or they at least react a little bit. So just a little note, if you ever feel like you can't communicate with your team, if you're in a sticky situation, say GG, maybe someone will come help, like the Super Pershing in the area that did. Now I have no armor to speak of. In fact, the CDC, when looked at wrong, gets ammo racked. So since my Super Persian came over to help me, I at least want to give him some cover fire, but I can't brawl with these guys, so I have to fall back to this ridge and at least give him some cover fire from here. Get another shot. Just getting some shots into these Tiger Ps. We're almost up to 2,000 damage. I want to limit my exposure to them, so I shoot the guy up top. We get a shell in here. Unfortunately, I take one from the ISM. And I apologize to my Super Pershing and realize that I got to get out of here. So I know the terrain a little bit. I'm going to get down into the hole, and the ISM is actually going to chase me. And I was going to make an exit strategy, but then realized that I'm probably driving right back up into his gun line, so I got to get out of here, and I'll be lucky if he misses. So I think he auto-locked me. Maybe his shell just dipped into the sand there. But now my team is starting to come over and fight them guys, so once they're engaged, I'm able to creep back up here and get shots into the side of the ISM. So Baja, just like South Coast, I like to play the zero line, and then depending on how the teams play out is how aggressive I play it. And I try to react to the map, because there's no real set in stone Baja 101 that you can follow. So it's a lot of map awareness on this, I feel like. Same with South Coast. But the most irritating part about these maps is that in the north they have the sniper hill. So on D7 you pretty much can win the game from there if you just have good enough spotters. And that's pretty irritating that a team can just spawn in a position that will win them the game. Now, they're not going to win every single time, but if you stay put and you're disciplined, generally you can pull that off as long as you got some zero line coverage. FV202 shuts down my Pantera. I'm looking for a shot and I just can't find it. So he's going to pull up to get a shot into me, but I've already cleared the distance because I'm a scout tank, remember. I'm a scout tank the size of a heavy tank, and I thought I was auto-locked, but unfortunately I wasn't. And the front of his top armor plate is sloped pretty well, so I need to make sure that I aim my shot into that small sliver of a lower plate. And right as I turn around, the VK101P is looking at me. But we are fast enough, so we get around his side, we take him down with a little help from Artie, and now there is just one little lonely red tank left. And I am not trying to tell you that you need to go out and buy a CDC. This tank is a struggle, but and you see, I just can't drive it. It's just way too fast. You can't turn fast enough when you're running into rocks and Hetzer hulls. So the Indian Panzer spots me. Don't have the camo of a scout tank. I have the camo of like a small heavy tank, big medium tank, I guess. Is that a thing? Alright, so we track the Indian Panzer, we get a bunch of assist damage, and then we are also able to shut him down. So a very nice result in the CDC. 3,500 damage, 700 assisted. I think it's 700. But also make a lot of silver. 500 assisted. I was close. 4 kills, and we throw down the ace. We're up to 90% damage standing on the CDC. Like it's pretty great. I know I've talked about Artie recently, and this tank does not like artillery. Probably more so than any other tank. If it gets splashed within like a 1 mile radius, you pretty much lose half your health and all your modules, maybe some crew members. Yeah, so it's a fragile, gigantic tank. But since it's my first one I ever bought, I got a close, warm spot in my heart for it, and I bring it out every once in a while. But I can only play it so often because after a while of playing it and getting ammo racked, you go senile. So I don't want to do that. Well, thanks for listening to me go on this little rant here. I will stop babbling, and then just one more thing. On Thursday, we're going to be doing a CC's versus the world, so you got to check out that. Wargaming is going to have their stream going. I'll have more details later, but it's going to be us community contributors versus anybody that comes to fight us, and it should be a lot of fun, so come check that out. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.